Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas Dotson. Everyone calls me Nick. I'm originally from Thomasville, Georgia, about 30 minutes north of Tallahassee, Florida. And wanted to talk to you about my faith journey and how I got to where I am today. And it's pretty unique. Everyone has their own story, and I think everyone's story defines them. For me, my faith journey really started towards the end of high school. I was really lost ninth, 10th, and 11th grade year. I attended church all throughout school. Um, I come from a very big family. My mom has 12 sisters, two brothers. My dad is unfortunately the only child, so I don't have any cousins or anything on that side, but I have a lot on my mom's side. And grew up in the church. You knew we were going. My grandma always was getting us up and reading scriptures to us and things like that. Um, and I never really listened, to be honest. It was like, I know we gotta go, that type of thing. And then for me, I think around my senior year, I really started to really listen and be engaged, and really started to sit down with my preacher and talk about day to day and the direction I was planning to go. And I really started to get into my book and started to bookmark off scriptures and things like that. And so I really became interested, really started to be interested in the word. And I think that pushed me on throughout college. And so when I started in college, I became an FCA huddle leader. Became a youth mentor at the church. I worked with kids having Bible study once a week at the church. Um, and I thought that was really cool because I was able to not only give back because a lot of those kids looked up to me, but then also too I was learning at the same time. And it was really cool because it was helping me go in the direction that I wanted to go, even though I wasn't sure on what direction I was trying to go. And I think for me, it was just my lack of understanding my religion younger. And I think it was all falls on me because my parents and my grandparents really harped on a lot of things, and it was being a little rebellion. And then as when I got older, I really started to take it serious. And I think the one big step for me on my journey was getting baptized before I got married. That was one thing that I wanted to do. Is I didn't want to start the new journey with my beautiful wife before I had gave my life to Christ. And so I decided to get baptized on my birthday. Um, my birthday's in March, and I got married in July. So just a few months before, and that's something that I wanted to do, and I always told myself I would do, and it was awesome. My parents were there, my wife was there. It was huge, and I think it really, helped mold my marriage and the places that we're trying to go, as a couple as well. And so that's what my journey was, and it was huge for me. And I finally took the steps in the right direction, trying to be consistent in my life. Um, my athletic background, I had a pretty successful career. I was an all-state football player. I was an all-state wrestler. I was a state champion in track and field. I was won the 300-meter hurdles at the Georgia State meet in 2006. I went on and became the first signee ever at Shorter University, NAIA school in Rome, Georgia at the time. They're now NCAA Division II. I was an 11-time All-American, 8-time Mid-South Conference champion. I had 6 school records, won 3 national championships. I was a Shorter University Male Athlete of the Year. In 2011, I went on to 2 Olympic trials in the 400-meter hurdles, and I had an opportunity to. So I was definitely blessed throughout my collegiate career, and I had a lot of great memories. And I think what's pretty cool was I was the first signee ever of Shorter University's program, and I took the job at Southeastern University as the first track and field head coach. And so it was just really cool just being able to do that and help put those kids in position, and learning from the things that I did, as an athlete when I helped start that program. So it was pretty cool. My prior understanding, before this course, my understanding between sport and spirituality was very, slim to none. I didn't really pay attention to it that way. I've always been extremely competitive, but I was very strong in my faith at the same time. It's a lot of things that I would do, and that were very consistent, but I didn't really start to take a look at it until I took this course and really started to watch some of the stuff that we were talking about, and like, wow, I didn't really think of it that way. Um, and I think a lot of the reason why my knowledge was very slim to none as well is you can't really do anything anymore. It's tough to say. You can't really pray before games anymore, depending on where you are. You don't see the Pledge of Allegiance anymore in schools. You know, some people don't even want to do the moment of silence. There's a level of sensitivity that's there now, and so you can't, you can't do it. In some sense, and I'm blessed to be able to work at an institution that, encourages it, allows it, and because that's a big part of what I do as far as me mentoring, my student athletes, and so I think that's a big reason why, here in this area, just it's a dangerous line that you're floating around with, because there's some that don't care for it and there's some that do. As an athlete, I did engage in some spiritual, practices. I definitely listened to a certain type of music before my competitions. I was always a more mellow guy, so I didn't really listen to anything too upbeat. Like your Kurt Franklin's of the world, that type of music. Not too upbeat, real mellow. I would always get in the blocks. I do the exact same thing every time. It was something that I've always done. It was like it wasn't even planned. It just happened automatically. I would always point to the sky. I would always say a few words to the Lord, thank Him for the opportunity being there. I would never pray for victory, because He already knows who's going to win in the first place and who's going to lose. And so I would never do that. I just always wanted to be able to give my best and come out injury free. And that's pretty much how I was as an athlete. Uh, on my new insights gain. In week one of the course, we discussed spirituality within athletic competition. The new insight I gained was how consistent an athlete was before or after competition and how they glorify God. I never watched to see if an athlete does the same thing or not, and if it was genuine or not, or just a habit. I realized everything I did before a race and realized it was very genuine and not a habit. I just felt like with Usain Bolt, he always did the exact same thing. And he never missed, even when he did other things to get the crowd involved. He would always do things differently there. But when it came down to his spiritual practice, he was very consistent in what he did, never missed. And so I didn't think that was a habit. I think that was just something that he always did, and that was something um, that put him in position to do the things that he wanted to do and be blessed in those situations. In week 5 of the course, we discussed the nature of athletic competition. The insight I gained was how you see some athletes value winning more than anything. I was never this way as an athlete, but I see it more now, especially since taking week 5 of this course. Before, I never noticed it because nothing gave me a reason to. My idea is to really analyze my athletes this season to see how consistent, they are in what they say and how they do things. I want to see if I can see that in any of them. Being able to see that part in week 5 really motivates me to really watch my athletes differently this year. Not really say anything to them, just kind of watch them, see how consistent they are, see the things that they like to do. It's a lot of it that I did watch this year, but week 5 here really is going to make me look at things just a little bit differently, and kind of just watch a lot of our returners and definitely watch a lot of the new kids that are coming on campus. And then in week 7 of the course, we discussed sports, spirituality, and music. The new insight I gained was how much no music takes away from my overall ability to perform at a high level. Music had a lot of motivation, especially depending on what play and the lyrics that were involved. The reason I want to see how often I go to music in big moments during the season to see how my energy is during big moments. I know for me as an athlete, music was huge for me. If I forgot like my little iPod or something like that, I was like, oh my God, I gotta borrow somebody's stuff. It just really got me going. It got my energy level going. Especially like if I was sore or just wasn't motivated that day, especially during practices. I would even use it before practice to be able to get ready for a hard workout. And then when we did all of the exercises and the runs and all that, everything was better for me when I had music. And that was just me. I stayed more idled and more content, complacent, when I didn't have music. And so I thought that was really cool, and I'm going to watch that this semester in the preseason and in season with my student athletes. I know they all listen to music, but I want to see how pumped they get, because I didn't really realize that, because I always just wait till they, they finish doing what they're doing in their drills and they have their music on, and we take it off and I go over pre-race strategy and etc. Because I know they're locked in at this level. You know, I don't really have to hold their hand at this level. So now I want to be able to look at things from a different perspective and really watch things closely so that I can kind of reflect back on what we talked about in this course. Uh, let's see. And the application this season will allow me to really shape my new ideas. I want to see how myself and my student athletes are in how we glorify God in competition. Some may keep doing what they are doing and etc., but now it is something I will actually look for. Also, these ideas will help me communicate more with my student athletes on what they are thinking and what they are thinking this way and why they are thinking this way. This also will help me prepare them mentally for huge races they have coming. Looking at these ideas will help me look at things far past the X's and O's, takes our journey to a deeper place. So I'm really excited about this season. This class really, really gave me some great ideas on some things that I want to do differently with my team this year. And we did a lot of creative things this year, but man, this class really opened my eyes up on a lot of different things. And I'm really excited about the direction we're going. We're really blessed. This was our first year as a program, and we ended up winning, the Sun Conference Championship on the men's and the women's side as a first-year program. We knocked off two nationally ranked teams to do that, and I felt like we didn't have to cut corners to do it. We had 15 individual conference champions. We had 8 All-Americans. We had 1 national runner-up. We had one of our female student athletes qualify for the U.S. Under-20 championships. I felt like this year was huge for us. We didn't cut any corners. We did things the right way. We had Bible study within our program. We were very supportive of each other. We weren't perfect, but we had definitely tried to strive for perfection, and it worked out really well. And I couldn't be more happy. And I really enjoyed this class and really enjoyed reading everyone's discussions. And look forward to continuing into this degree. And I really appreciate everything.